Hi, my name is Kiley Herold from GLP here in Panama. Today I have two really exciting guests to share with you. We have John Cohlan, the CEO of Margaritaville Holdings, and we have Alfredo Aleman, the CEO of Grupo Los Pueblos here in Panama, the developer of Margaritaville here in Panama. Thanks for coming on today, guys. I'm super excited to have you. Yes. John, first question is for you. What was it about Panama, or Playa Caracol specifically, that drew you guys to Panama?
I must say, well, what drew us to Panama was a call from our passionate partner, Alfredo, and I had never been to Panama. Okay. And he said, you've got to come. First of all, it's a wonderful country, and wait till you see Playa Caracol. It is Margaritaville. And what really drew us here was when we walked out to Playa Caracol, it is Margaritaville. And, I always say that lifestyle brands are about a photograph. Can you see it in the photograph? And it's just one of the most spectacular places I've ever seen, with those beautiful beaches and then the scenic mountains behind you. So how could we not have come?
Yeah, it's hard to repeat it, huh? Yeah. What would you say in a recent opening of yours would you be bringing to Panama in terms of like lessons you've learned or successes that you've recently had?
I think really our business is consistent in a way, in that it's about an attitude. It's about an attitude of the people who enjoy Margaritaville, because Margaritaville really is an attitude at the end of the day. But it's also an attitude about the people who are hosting you when you're a guest at Margaritaville. And, we're very, very proud of that. And that's the real secret to everyone having a good time. And, we often say that if you're being hosted by someone who's having a good time as well, you're going to have a better time. And we make a real point of being sure that the right people are hired to be part of the experience we deliver, and that they're having a good time. And it's very obvious here that Alfredo shares that culture and approach. And so I think that that's going to be one of the more important things that gets created.
You kind of beat me to my next question, but what about GLP made us the right partner in Panama for you guys?
Well, they're Margaritaville people. We've all spent a lot of time together, and they care about the things we care about. They also have great taste. They do things right. They understand that an experience is really the sum of the parts. So if you don't do everything right, you want a full corner. You don't want to cut corners. And I would also say that, everyone in Margaritaville really gets enormous satisfaction about providing a service that we think is important to people. It's not just a business. And it's very clear to us that Alfredo and his team, derive that same sense of real satisfaction about, delivering an experience to people. And that's as important to them as any of the elements of what they do. It's a combination made in paradise.
What signature brands, or what signature like Margaritaville specialties do we have planned for the Panama site? I'm excited for Land Shark, for one.
Yeah. And, there's already a 5 o'clock somewhere. You can't argue with that. And, of course, we're not going to tell you everything, because we like to always have surprises. But let's just say that we believe that we really deliver a sense of paradise, and that you're going to see the ultimate paradise out there at Playa Caracol.
Alfredo, I have a question for you. In terms of like local community impact, what would you say that Margaritaville will be bringing to us there in Playa Caracol and Chame?
The Margaritaville Resort is a major 9-figure investment that in the short term, the direct and indirect benefits to the country and to the province will be enormous. We have involved more than 1,000 people in the creation of this resort. These are a team of people following very strict environmental guidelines monitored by the Ministry of the Environment. And In the long run, the benefits are exponential because in the operational stage, not just the several hundred of jobs that this resort will provide, but as well the tourism, the new tourism that Margaritaville resort will generate for the country, for the area, will be exponential compared to the short-term benefits.
What are some, let's say, big milestones between now and 2027 when we get to enjoy it?
Scheduled opening is mid-2027, and we have already reached top-off of the first phase. We are now focusing on the finishes and the equipment, but most importantly, we are now getting involved in the pre-operational stage so that we can make sure that we will provide the expected and unique Margaritaville experience like no other in the hospitality arena in the Republic of Panama and the region.
Okay, Alfredo, and if you had to describe Margaritaville at Playa Caracol in just one sentence, how would you do so?
So Margaritaville Resort Playa Caracol is a very unique and one-of-a-kind tropical beachfront and mountain resort next to a cosmopolitan city, world class, that is Panama City, Republic of Panama.
Now these are a little bit more fun, more lighthearted. What would, and this is for both of you, so be thinking, your favorite Jimmy Buffett song to have a cocktail at sunset?
Wow, that's
A lot of good ones.
that's a hard one for me, honestly, because I love so many Jimmy Buffett songs that I'm actually going to do something I rarely do, which is not give you a good answer. I would say to you that there are so many, depending on your attitude, that particular moment where you're standing at the sunset, there are probably at least 15 I could choose from, depending on how I was feeling about the world that day.
So you won't believe me, but I did my first year of college in Central Florida.
Oh, wow.
So I used to study with the Jello CD, you know. And my answer to that question would be the whole CD. That's the one that I liked.
There you go.
Okay, and the next question is, on the rocks or frozen?
For sure, frozen.
Yeah,
Rocks.
on the rocks. Okay, and if you had to pick one word that you want guests, that captures what you want guests to feel when they come to a Margaritaville resort, what would it be?
One word.
I give you two.
I told you today that once you cross that line and enter that lobby, you escape and enter a new realm. It's a resort with a soul. Okay.
And I think you've just provided the word for me. I'm going to lift it from you. Okay. Escape. I've escaped. I think that's right. You know, I've escaped. And let me point something else out, because you talked about Jimmy, and you know, let's not forget that, you know, Margaritaville is Margaritaville because of his remarkable life as a songwriter, as a writer, as an entertainer, and as many would say, as a philosopher of fun and what it means to your life. And ever since he passed, you know, I've become very spiritual, and there's no question in my mind that he's around. He's probably here somewhere. But I think it's interesting that Alfredo met him many years ago, long before we met. And Jimmy and I were partners for about 28 years. It's just not surprising to me, because that's the world of Jimmy. You know, he would have met Alfredo years before we ever got together to come to Panama.
The Pearl Islands Archipelago.
Wow.
Early 2000s, New Year's Eve. Yes.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
You gotta love that.
Guess.
You gotta love that.
We were going to do resorts, and we were going to do one of them.
Thank you so much for your time today, gentlemen. And thank you so much for watching. If we had questions that we didn't get answered for you, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. And you can click like and subscribe, because we're continually putting out weekly content.